Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Very happy to see you all back again. And this year we are in a full force to analyze, react, review, rumor, discuss, critique, compliment Eurovision entries for 2021. It's been a long 2 years, but we are back on track to enjoying what we all love the most. It's Eurovision Song Contest. Yay! Tonight we will be reviewing and reacting to Romania, to lovely Roxanne. So what I know about Roxanne, I fell in love first time with Roxanne in September 2019. I could definitely remember the day when I heard first time the song You Don't Love Me. It was an EDM pop song, Eurodance pop song, which just blew my mind. Since then, I have never stopped listening to this. So addicting, and I just can never get enough of it. It's just so amazing. It's just exactly what I love in the music. It's this like mystical night move vibes. It's very modern EDM. It's a very creative design, very appealing design-wise, very appealing. It was beautiful. I was really impressed by Roxanne, and I was really impressed when the next year Romania have chosen internally Roxanne as their representative. 2020 was amazing for Roxanne. I think all 5 songs were a very decent quality. I loved and I enjoyed a lot Storm, Cherry Red, and Alcohol You. Honestly, for me, top 2 were Cherry Red and Alcohol You. It's a perfect couple of the songs which Euro fans are familiar and are enjoying the most in the competition. It's a very nice ballad, very touching ballad, and at the same time, very moving, very dancing-wise, very dancingly song as Cherry Red. Obviously, I was completely jaw dropped when I saw her performance of Cherry Red. I hope it was her emotions. I hope she can fight this emotion on Eurovision, because she needs to be a very strong person to perform on Eurovision. But honestly, I was just completely devastated when I saw Cherry Red performance. I was like, what's going on? And I remember at that time, very big groups, because I think Romanian fans have one of the biggest Facebook group fan base of Eurovision. They have a group of Eurovision Romania, which has over 50,000 members. They have Eurovision Romania. It's another group with 12,000. They have Eurovision Romania community. There's also Eurovision Moldova, which I am an honored admin. So please join us if you are interested. We always exchange news, rumors, and stuff like that. Competitions, duels, and stuff like that between groups and members. So I remember that people were also shocked about Cherry Red, how it was completely sabotaged. But at the end, Alcohol You won, which for me was also a personal favorite. I didn't mind that song at all. I found Alcohol You to be a very unique, very contemporary song. Beautiful play of words, play of a design, of the graphics. Everything was perfectly done. It was a very contemporary, I would say even further than 2020. It was a 2030 ballad, right? Given in a very beautiful luxury cover page. And it was just mesmerizing to watch Alcohol You. The way she performed on the national selection stage, singing with her fans, it was just touching. It was very touching. For me, Alcohol You probably wouldn't be the winner. Even probably not top 5, but a definitely top 10 contestant for sure. So I'm still very impressed about the quality of Global's records, of the TV Romania. There was really, likewise Bulgaria, it was on a top. Honestly, Eastern Europe was dominated, and I hope will still be dominated by Romania, by Bulgaria, Ukraine, right? As a new dark horses in the competition. So obviously for me it's very interesting what Roxanne is going to bring this year, because it's been 1 year. They had a lot of time to prepare their number. I anticipate the high quality, very polished, very modern, very contemporary. I will never get tired to mention this word because this what represents for me Roxanne, contemporary young artist who brings young blood to the competition, and I think that's exactly what we need for Eurovision. So therefore I have very high hopes on Romania, and I'm really very excited to see what they're gonna bring. This year, I know so far that Roxanne will present her song Amnesia. Let's watch together and see what Roxanne is bringing us this year. The song is called Amnesia. Obviously, I am expecting it's not gonna be a pop. Probably it's gonna be a ballad. She has changed her color. She's like a chameleon. It's very important for a young artist, for a young person to experiment with the changes in their life. It's a very intriguing start so far. I can definitely see this piano instrumentals mixed with this slowly and very gently dropped beats in the back. She is apparently on a stage. Oh, so far it's very atmospheric. It just starts, probably I only have like 10 seconds, but so far I can picture myself where I am listening to this song, right? It's something dark, it's something moody, it's something mysterious, right? And I value a lot when an artist, without saying that, they could make us drawn into atmosphere, into a scenery, right? And so far she's completely succeeding with that. So it's gonna be a self-love song, obviously. It's something that we need, especially considering 2020, which was a disaster year for many of us. Many people have lost people. Many people have lost their own selves, being isolated for so much time. It was definitely a struggle for many to deal with their own demons, with their own selves. It's definitely going to be a self-love song. Don't bring yourself down. You're not alone now. Oh, I lost my have it all. This world feels in a rush, and they say they know it all. Oh, I lost myself trying to have it all. Self-love amnesia. So worry if it goes. You're not alone, not alone. I tried to fight it, but it's getting strong, getting strong, getting strong. Oh, I lost myself trying to have it all. Self-love amnesia. So worry if it got you, 'cause you're not alone. Giving all they want might make you lose control. Take it, written away. Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps all over. If I would be legal to show you my legs on YouTube videos, you could see. This is just beautiful. I really want to first listen the whole song, and this is just like the way she sings. She has that moment of vulnerability in her voice. There is a moment, there is a note when she starts the chorus in the beginning. Alone, I think she sings alone. That just, like, I don't know, it just dropped me into that goosebumps effect. It really feels something. It's really touching. It's a moment of her vulnerability, and I think it's a moment of vulnerability for any one of us being alone. And it was very smart to underline exactly that word and to emphasize this vulnerable note exactly on the key word or the chorus, right, about being alone. And so far it's so beautiful. This is a type of a Spotify ballads, which I would call, is this a new trend of the ballads which are promoted on getting a lot of popularity on Spotify. As an example, Tate McRae or Olivia Rodrigo, like Driver License or You Broke Me First. It's that kind of the song which is a ballad, but it's not Ed Sheeran, yet it's not something very old like Beyonce, right? It's something very fresh, something very unique. It's simple ballad which does not, require or touch that high-pitched notes or some, background social inclusion, right? It's just a song, very minimalistical on a sound, but there's that key element, key notes of, of like a couple of those notes which hit you very hard, hit your home very, very, very well. And the lyrics is just amazing so far. It's on point. It's wow. So when she sings, people are telling you, be careful what you wish for, and she's on a stage, I would assume that she is talking about her experience at Eurovision, because I know that she's been following Eurovision for long years, and she has always wanted to represent Romania and to participate in Eurovision, from what I've heard and from what I've read. And I think the way that she decided to participate in Eurovision, and 2020 was a roller coaster for her, being firstly confronted with a very high negativity from the fan base, from the people, from the societies, because they didn't like that it was internally selected. They wanted a national selection. And she was like 20, I think, or 19 at that age. She had to face this negativity, critique from people who had never even listened to her songs or music. Then when everybody finally accepted that she will be representing Romania, then they had a new phase where people were doubting her quality, where people were doubting her skills as a singer. Then when she presented new songs, people would always find something where to touch her and how to hurt her, right? When after the national performance, the people who didn't like the song, the people who didn't like the title, people who didn't like the way, the concept that she's promoting, then the cancellation of Eurovision and the cancellation of the whole big amount of work which Global Records had involved for her and that she has been doing, everything was just ignored and whitewashed, right? And again, 1 year of struggling with this anxiety, because it's different when you know that you will represent a country, you'll sing in May, and that's it. Whether people like it or not, you can move on. But the thing that the artist in 2020 has to leave this anxiety moment, because it's moment when you're on a stage, that's the final, that's a climax of your mission, right? And when it's all postponed for 2 years, it's just, I don't know how she was able to hold with this pressure. And then every new song, it was a comparison with the Eurovision. It was assumption of bringing something new to Eurovision. It was the rising up the quality and standards for the next Eurovision song. So for Roxanne, I feel like this is her autobiography song, right? Where she is singing about what she was afraid for, how she was handling the dreams, right, of becoming this representative. It's just so beautiful. I've lost myself trying to what she was trying to. Honestly, I don't even want to stop listening to this. This moment when she's fighting back the crowd, because I assume all those crowd are wearing gray clothes. It means that gray routinely, crowding. Those critics, those smarties who knows everything on internet, and the way when she screams at them, when she screams at her critics, fighting back, this is just beautiful, so powerful. We have a climax here. I love this electro style for the bridge. Oh, they're all now bowing down to her like she's like the queen. Oh. Wow. this is just so, for every shout that went unheard. Wow, this was, I still have these goosebumps and you can see it clearly on my skin. The way she was fighting back, the way when she appeared in front of the crowd and people were bowing down to her, and at the end they all embraced her when she fell down on them. That was very amazing. And it's like, it's just like underlines like how it's all smart, because it's so easy to touch an audience, right, with a high-pitched notes. We have a lot of singers who, you know, using their vocal talent, they could hit you there, you know. You listen, they hit you with the high notes. We have these people who use different social background movements, right, Black Lives Matter, LGBT, etc., which are very important, obviously part of a manifesto. But when an artist can use something very little as their own anxiety fight and bring it to the level of totally overwhelming an audience, the same way as she would present a social manifesto or, you know, an emotional vocal hit, it's just beautiful. It's just so simple yet so sophisticated. These small details which made beautiful her work in 2020, and it just elevated this year. I just completely love, because this is what she is. She sang about what she went through. I could hear those, you know, unheard voices which she was keeping to herself, right, fighting this bunch of people, you know, of the herd of people, and being so young and having to deal with so much negativity, and to find the strength to fight this all back, to find the self, to love yourself even when everybody around criticizes you, when everybody around hates you. This is beautiful. It's a song which many young generation of people, of children, of teenager needs, about embracing yourself, about accepting yourself, about fighting for yourself. Ignore everybody around and you have to make your voice heard. It's just, it was that moment. It is very similar so far, the moment when I had with the Duncan Lawrence, when I heard the song Arcade. It obviously, it's a different story. It's about right, a love relationship, but I have now the same deja vu effect. I feel now the same goosebumps, the same emotion which Duncan Lawrence brought me with Arcade. This is so beautiful. I hope they're gonna keep the staging the same as in the video, right? Because it was completely astonishing, so theatrical, so sophisticated. I loved everything. The dress, all the dances, I liked her dress, everything as she looked. It was just like everything was perfect, on spot. So primitive, right? It's just dances on a stage. Yet this is just looking completely stunning. It's a dancing metaphor, it's a lyrical metaphor, it's a musical sound metaphor, because the way the beats and the instrumentals are working is just fascinating. I'm really proud of Romina. This is so beautiful. It does have that winning, you know, effect on me. I could definitely say that this year the song have real chances to win. It all depends on the staging. It all depends what other countries brought. I don't know yet. But for me, this is a winner so far. It's something which I will listen for sure. Probably, I would say Roxanne is second. It's first, right, in my top. So far I only listened to these two songs of Lithuania and Roxanne. But I'm just like overwhelmed. So far, it's going so good. So guys, tell me what you think about Roxanne's song. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Do you think she will win? Did you like the message? Do you agree with the message? Do you think it's all fake? Or do you think she was singing what's on her heart? And what do you think Roxanne will end up this year? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you agree and you enjoyed my review and my reaction. Please comment down below. And I'll see you all guys in the next video. Ciao.